Hello guys and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series. This is race number 7 here today from the Dover International Raceway. Today I believe is the AAA 400, I want to say. I always forget what event this is here at Dover, but anyway. So Austin Shaw is on the pole today. And starting on the outside is Eric Faden. You saw Austin Shaw had to race his way in. He did so today. 48 is no stranger to victory lane here at Dover. Jimmy Johnson has done it multiple times. We'll see if Austin has the same success. Meanwhile, obviously, you see Zach Fitzwater back there with Nonigan Scott as well. We saw an interesting race over at Nashville, which Gene Sanford was victorious over there. So we've had 6 different winners to open up the season. Today, could we make it 7? That's going to be the big question. Or will we see our first 2-time winner? Eric Faden's the one who's got the best odds starting in second. Ironic with the I Am Second sponsorship. Yeah. So anyway, without further delay, this is the Jello Cup Series. This is race number 7 here at Dover. Let's roll the intro. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Through turn 4. Does the 24 have enough? It's going to be a drag race to the line. We're going down the front stretch. The 96. Wins the race at Coda. Ryan Knox is going to win at Watkins Glen. 7. Got this. All right. Ryan got this. Ryan
Time to get ready to see how hungry Miles the Monster is today. How many cars will be claimed? How many will survive the Monster Miles? The pace car will peel off. It'll be Austin Shaw and Eric Faden, 2 veterans. They will lead us to the green flag. We're underway at Dover. Oh, the 8's in the wall. As Austin Shaw will lead the opening lap, but here is the 4. That is Zachary Fitzwater. Keep in mind, Zachary Fitzwater has not won a Jello Cup Series event. Oh, we have a spinner, but it looks like we stay caution-free. That's a weird twist of events, and it's a tough break for Tim Randolph. He goes around. Man, look at that damage. That is a tough break for him, and it looks like Steve Morgan had a piece in this. I believe Steve Morgan is a former winner here at Dover. That is a tough break. So after this, we go to Gateway. That'll wrap up the week. Then we'll have a nice long break. And these drivers, much deserved break. We'll return, I believe, Sunday or Monday. And we will have Martinsville, Milwaukee, Talladega, and Charlotte. Those will be next week's races. And the Coca-Cola 600. That is a double points race that will wrap up the week here on GCN next week. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. You see the 48s leading some laps here. This is much needed for them. Obviously, a very slow start to the season for the 48. The United Colors. And they want to finally just get to victory lane, get back in that top 33. Something they badly need to do here today. You see Zach Fitzwater is closing the gap. Don't rule him out of this battle yet. Again, Zach Fitzwater has never won a Jello Cup Series race. He's hungry today. He has not been happy that he hasn't hit victory lane yet. Here we go. He's right on the bumper. We'll see if he can make a move. It won't be this time. But his teammates have already gone to victory lane as well. Stacy Stickler and Mina Monroe have both been to victory lane. Alexander Rowe has yet to be to victory lane this season, but has won in the past. This would be utter domination for Stuart Haas if they could get 3 wins to open the season with 3 different drivers. It'll just show how strong that program has become. But Chevy has always had the power here in the Jello Cup Series. Fun fact, every driver who has won a Jello Cup Series championship has driven a Chevy. So Austin Shaw is in, well, I wouldn't say he's in the best position, but obviously his Chevy counterparts have the advantage in this series, as Ford will look to break that streak, and so will Toyota, the 2 big manufacturers in this series. And you see there, Zach Fitzwater backs off. He loses a little bit. We'll see if he can regain it here. He's slowly regaining it. Maybe he used up his stuff a little too much. And yes, this is the AAA 400, so I just wanted to clarify that. We go to Gateway as mentioned. This will wrap up the week, the Worldwide Technology 500. And then we open up next week with Martinsville, the STP 500. And you see that gap is just increasing. Maybe Austin Shaw has a better long-run setup. It looks like he's just running a lower line and running away with this. There's really no battles on the track that I can highlight. But let's see if I can find one. No, correction, there's one for 9th between Tyler Faden and the 88. That is Dick Clark. And the rookie's going to prevail. Now 17 will try to follow. That's Mohammed Zain Abdullah, who almost won the race at Nashville. He is looking to rebound here. And of course, they got a lapped car right in the middle of that. That is the 43 of Tim Randolph, involved in an early crash that did not bring out a caution, which we're still shocked it didn't. Because normally wrecks like that bring out a caution. Up ahead, two other cars might have brushed the wall. 25 Dan Hummel, the 9 of Rusty Potts. And you see they got some damage. And actually it's scheduled pit stops. But they will obviously have to fix some damage, as Zach Fitzwater will go to the race lead. Staying out an extra lap didn't really benefit anybody on the track yesterday at Nashville. We'll see if it does here. See, the 4 is in. That'll give the 14 of Alexander Rowe the race lead. By him staying out, he can make it a true 2-stop race. See, the 32 Hillary Sanchez stayed out. So did the 22 of Mitchell Collins, and they're all going to pit now. See, the 4 is out and away. Let's see, did the 4 beat the 48? There goes the 48 right now. No, the 4 is not going to beat the 48 off the pit lane. Will the 14? That is the question. 14 is off. No, 48 will retain the race lead. And now he will have lap traffic to deal with. Oh, the 96 nearly hit him. That's Charles Sanford. They're not letting up on the leader. And this is exactly what Zach Fitzwater needs. He's got to be sitting there saying thanks to his friend Charles Sanford right now. And Charles Sanford will clear and hold on to 36th. But back behind, you see Zach Fitzwater. Oops, sorry. Zach Fitzwater has no lap traffic between him and the leader. The more this 48 is held up, the more likely that 4 is going to reel him in. Let's take you through the field. It'll be the 48, Austin Shaw. He's your race leader. Second is Zach Fitzwater. Third right now is Nonigan Scott in the number 15. A good run going for him. Fourth is Gene Sanford, last race's winner. Fifth is Alexander Rowe. Sixth is Usman Hamid. Seventh is Dylan Young. Eighth is Tyler Faden. Ninth is Mohammed Zain Abdullah. And 10th is Chris Smith. 11th is Joshua Sakali. A much needed great run for that 47 team. 12th is Max Anderson. 13th is Hillary Sanchez. 14th is Carter Joey. 15th is Anthony Logan. 16th is Eric Faden after starting up front. Not good for them. 17th is Nathan Faden. 18th is Rihanna G. 19th is now Giorgio Stumu, and in 20th now is the 22 of Mitchell Collins. That is through the field. As we head back up front, you see the lead is somehow growing. He's up to 3.6 seconds for the race lead. Make that 3.8. And if this keeps going, Fitzy may have to wait another race to have his shot at victory lane. On the bright side, though, Fitzwater is higher in the standings than I think he's ever been. So, much needed good run at the front so far this season. He has not missed a race. He has not fallen outside of the top 33 so far. And I believe he was at 1 point second in the standings. So, obviously, that's some highlights for Fitzwater. And the wins will come eventually if he keeps going at this rate. Obviously, we don't want to rule him out of this one yet. Because, again, anything could happen to the 48. Up front. I mean, look at him. He's dealing with lap traffic. The two ahead of him, Patrick Smith and Charles Sanford, are battling side by side. He is currently having to sit behind that. Not terribly close, but obviously too close for comfort as it is. And Austin Shaw is pretty soon going to claim those 2 bonus points, or get his second bonus point for the most laps led. Patrick Smith is up ahead now. It's been a good start to the season for Patrick Smith, but not a good race going for him here today. And you see the 4 of Zach Fitzwater. He's under pressure right now. This is a battle for second. And the 4 has to move up. That'll open the door for Nonigan Scott. It's almost a 6-second lead, and Nonigan Scott will take second. At 15, having a strong run today. We'll see just how much he's able to close on the 48. He's at 5.8 seconds back. We could also be approaching another round of stops pretty soon. What could potentially be the final stops as well for some of these guys. We will see. And then obviously, here at Dover, you can't rule out a caution. I mean, we've been caution-free so far. I don't want to jinx that. But it is obviously always a potential factor here. See, the lead is down to 6.1 right there, 6.2 seconds now. It's the race lead. And Fitzwater, whatever adjustments they made to that 4, it is certainly not handling the way he wants it to. As you see, the 48 will pit. Will the 15 follow? No, 15 will stay out the extra lap, and Nonigan Scott will take over the race lead. Now the 48's got a little bit of a cushion. He had a 6-second lead before that cycle stops, or before this cycle, so we'll see. He could do 4 tires. As you see, these guys stay out a few extra laps here, trying to gain some momentum on that 48. Or maybe trying to lap him in case a caution comes out. So they can pin him a lap down and take him out of this race. See the 15 is slow. He is coming in. So is the 4. And the 53 and others. As now the 14 of Alexander Rowe goes to the race lead. .32 Hillary Sanchez to second. She stays out the extra lap as well. Maybe the 48 was a little too aggressive in traffic there. Used up his stuff a little quicker. See how that impacts them. Sanchez is in, so is Mitchell Collins. Mina Monroe, as well as Samet Ozkan. See where the 48 is. Right now, he's in traffic. And a little bit deeper in traffic as he's lapped the number 9, I believe. That's Rusty Potts. We'll see just where he comes out. Oh, he had to move up the track. Giorgio Stumu nearly got into him. And Austin Shaw will retain the race lead. And he's got almost a 10-second lead now. Over a 10-second lead. So it is Austin Shaw, Nonigan Scott, Zach Fitzwater, Gene Sanford, and Alexander Rowe. That is your top 5. And by staying out an extra, or coming in a few laps sooner, he had fresher tires, and he was just able to get a great run on those guys. So staying out an extra lap did not benefit anybody. We take a look now at your fastest laps, and Gene Sanford is the fastest car on track right now. Austin Shaw in 9th with the fastest lap. Not a bad start. Now keep in mind you saw how fast these tires fall off. So keep an eye on that. And Austin Shaw has secured a playoff point, as well as 2 bonus points, one for leading a lap and one for leading the most. It has been utter domination by the 48 thus far, as we hit 15 laps to go, and the 2 behind him go side by side. And now Giorgio Stumu looking to get unlapped. Keep in mind, could the 48 have to pit? That's another thing. 'Cause keep in mind, he pitted a few laps sooner than the rest of the leaders. And I don't like that move at all. There goes the 34 to the inside. And Stumu will unlap himself. Round will go Rusty Potts 2 and the 10 of Mina Monroe. See the outside line, not the preferred line around here. It won't cost him too much this time around, but next time, who knows? As you see there, Tim Horton and Samet Ozkan. They are going to try and unlap themselves as well. And that moves the 48 well high up the track. Here goes Charles Sanford now. He's trying to catch the 48. As he leads down to under, just barely under 8 seconds. Again, I remind you, the 48 might not have enough to get to the finish. He is pitted well before a lot of the race leaders have. And it looks like we had a battle for second. Oh, we got a car smoking. That's the 3 of Nathan Faden. And if he stops, this could... Oh, boy, this might bring out a caution. It will not. Not so lucky break for the 4. I'm sure he wanted to see that caution come out. Anyway, it's 9 laps to go. Zach Fitzwater was battling with the 15 of Nonigan Scott for second. He won that battle. So move the 4 to second. And if this 48 does not make it, I want to say I could believe that Zach Fitzwater has enough fuel to make it to the finish. If he does not, we know for a fact the 14 has enough to get to the finish. So Alexander Rowe could steal one here today. But obviously the 48 could as well. But we're also underestimating the 48. The 48 could be backing off and going high just to save fuel because he knows that he is so short. I mean, look at how much of that lead he's lost. He's lost 4 seconds. I think he knows he's got a big enough lead. He can save fuel. Hence why he's running the high line. You saw how much he backed off right there. Just look at it. He's essentially holding up the lapped cars right now. He did lose half a second, though, that time, and that's not good. As we come to 5 to go. We now got a question. Does the 48 have enough? How much have they saved? Like I said, look at how much he backs it off in turns 1 and 2. But it can't be helping him with the tires, and he does not have enough to make it. 48 is in. Next in line is the 4, Zach Fitzwater. Does he have enough to get to the finish? And he's got to be praying hardcore right now. He knows 3 laps to go this time, and they are going to be the 3 longest laps of his life coming up. It's got to be agonizing to not know what your fuel numbers are right now. You know you got to save, but you know you got the 15 behind you who's ready to pounce. And obviously you've got the 14 another second back. And the 14 absolutely has enough fuel to get to the finish. But I suppose if there's one bright side of that, the 14 is caught up in so much traffic. He's got so many cars to get around to make that happen. The 4 doesn't have enough. Neither does the 15. And just like we called it, guess who does? White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Alexander Rowe. And just like that, Alexander Rowe, he stretched his fuel far longer than the leaders, and he doesn't have enough. What is oh, no, wait. There's a wreck ahead. Oh, 14 hits the wall. I'm going to have to fix the pit frequency on this. The 22 wins the race. A Penske 1-2. Mitchell Collins is the winner here today at Dover. Congratulations to Mitchell Collins. He steals one here, and he becomes the 7th different winner this season. Dylan Young steals the 2nd place. That's great for him, too. But obviously the 48, they're all going to be, the 48 team's going to be shaking their head after that. You know for a fact the 4 is going to be pretty upset about losing that one on fuel strategy. That's a tough pill to swallow for those guys. We're going to go take a look at the replay and see what happened to bring out the caution essentially coming to the finish. Yeah, it just looks like it's final lap here. 35 didn't have enough fuel to make it. 25 does, and 25 just not letting them by. And Ben Crouch just dragged into this, essentially. I believe so will Jeff Scott. He's going to hit the 35. Just 35, I don't know if Patrick Smith hurt his spotter, or maybe they underestimated the 25. Didn't think he'd catch him in that corner. That's a tough break for them. Congrats to Mitchell Collins on stealing one here today from Dover. We want to thank you for watching. We'll see you for race number 8 at Gateway tomorrow night. Goodbye, everyone.